All right. So I want to talk about some new stuff that I've been working on. All right. So on this frame right here, the game swaps out Stan for a different game object. There's like two kinds of game objects. One is just a pointer to a model with animation clips, and the other is the normal game object that the player controls that can, interact with the physics engine and stuff. We can see that on this frame. Wait, hold up. Okay, on this frame, this address is changed to null, and this address gains a value. Presumably, these are just pointers to different game objects. So what is insane is that you can pause buffer in input one frame before the models are swapped out. And if the input is still in the memory buffer when the fixed update function executes, Stan will move, or at least try to. It doesn't matter that there's no Stan model because the inputs are still being detected at the hardware level by the CPU and stored into a register and get sent to the game engine, but there's no logical code to do anything with the input until this frame when there's the Stan model loaded in, and that listens for input and knows what to do with it. So we pause buffer on this frame, and then when the models are swapped in, whatever we've buffered gets sent to Stan, and he's going to try and move in that direction. And just normally when he tries to move into a collision box, he gets placed at the nearest edge of the collision box on the next frame. Under normal circumstances, this function only ever gets called when Stan is from outside of a collision box and is trying to move into it. However, the game starts with the animation model in place of Stan and then swaps him out on this frame. The next frame, Stan has already been moved outside the bed's collision box, which is when we're normally able to start sending inputs to the game. But because we pause buffer here, it calls the collision calculation function while he's still... we pause buffer here, and then on this frame, it's calling the collision calculation function, and he's still inside the collision box of the bed. So when the game tries to move him, and it's gonna try and move him to the outside of the bed's collision box, to the nearest edge. And this is important because on the next frame after that, Stan's previous and current positions, so previous is when he's here, and then the next one on the next frame, his current position will be wherever he ends up outside of the bed. That's used to calculate momentum. And in one frame, we move, 5 feet or so, if we do it right. When the game tries to grab time, it's rounded down to 0, because it's a 1 frame difference. The game encounters a division by 0 error, and somehow, for whatever goddamn reason, I don't know, instead of crashing, the momentum gets set to max float. So we're moving at the maximum number representation possible for our momentum. And we just dip, we just zoom across the map way out there. It doesn't even matter if there's any collision boxes between us and wherever we end up, because we're outside of anything. And it's like, oh, you're trying to end up in a place that's not within any collision boxes. Fine. There you are. All right, so then we're at CIA. And this is great because then we're already set up to do the next skip, which has been demonstrated in Heroes. I don't know if I'm pronouncing their YouTube channel correctly. They already made a video demonstrating this skip. It has to do with a collision box being in this particular area. When it's loaded in, there's a box at a certain Y position, and if Stan is detected there, then it just immediately goes to the last part of the sequence, which is the flag with the title. And then you're done. And that's that.